Oh, good. Okay, so we're going to catch our next guy. It's a Shinx. I accept Shinxes. Chuck a Cherish Ball. And weep, because we did not acquire the Shinx. But we shall in good time. So the start of a Nuzlocke is kinda slow going, just catching some things. Okay, but we would like to give a nickname to the Shinx. So let's turn our attention, nope, not to that, to not to you. Well, we could check while we're here if Zorua gets any changes. No. And also Shinx. Shinx always gets made into a dark type in these ROM hacks. That nobody can help themselves from making Luxray a dark type. It's one of the, like, you know, perennial facts about Pokemon fan games. But I respect it, because Luxray is quite a good dark type. I mean, it's cooler as a dark type, it's more interesting as a dark type. I like dark type Luxray, even though it doesn't really make sense for a Pokemon based on light to be a dark type. We don't have to worry about that. And the other one is Zoroark, right? Nope, no changes to Zoroark. That's okay. Zoroark is probably usable. If I was, like, really large-brained, I'm sure I could do something powerful with Illusion in, like, an AI cheesing way. But I don't have docs for that. Okay, let's have a look at our second photo. In our 1002. Aw. Look at this little fella. He's a cute little wasp. I'll crop him down. So we're not looking at a bunch of blank space. So this guy is really tiny. I know he looks big, like, whoa, so big. But this thing is one of the smallest wasps you'll ever see. It would look like a speck of dust to the naked eye. I wonder if I can get, like, a crumb of old bread. This is my live demonstration. So this, my fingers, is a crumb of bread, right? And that's tiny. That's smaller than, like, the normal wasp. But you get a crumb the size of a calcid wasp. That crumb, you can't even see it. There's a crumb on my thumb, I swear it, and it's the size of a calcid wasp, which is what this is, I'm pretty sure. It looks like a calcidoid to me. So, we can take it right down to the Apocrypta, because I'm pretty sure it's an Apocrypta. But we've got Apocrypta now. We have Apocrypta, and it's Zorua. So, we're going to have to go lower. So let's jump into the family tree, and isn't this nice to look at? This is a slide I made of every single, I'm going to make you really tiny so we can see, every single wasp that's available in the current patch of reality. So we have two infra orders, the Aculeator and the Proctotropomorpha, and they're within the Apocrypta. And we have these 6 groups, which are neither. They're like an outgroup. They don't fall into an infra order. The mowing of the lawn is going to make this even more unwatchable than it already is. Tune out now if you don't want to listen to the lawn being mowed. But I'm going to power on, because it can't last too long, right? But you don't have to. You can be spared. Stop watching. Leave before the lawn mowing gets closer. Yeah. Anyway, so this is a calcid, I'm pretty sure, up in the Calcidoidea, which is a subfamily. No, a superfamily. It's confusing because I've labeled them SF, both sub and superfamily. This is a superfamily. And when we're talking about these taxonomic ranks, there's no like objective biological reason that like something belongs to a superfamily. It's not like there's some intrinsic property of wasps that like forces that make superfamily real, right? Superfamily is just a nice categorization scheme for us. In fact, with taxonomy, you can take any group, any arbitrary group of related animals, and make a clade, and then if that is helpful, you can make that into a rank. You can make a tribe, you can make a superfamily, or whatever. It just has to be like... The idea is everything within the group has to be more closely related to each other than anything outside the group. That's the basic idea. So if you look at the mammals, you know, the animals, mammals, the... Okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna come back to this. Well, okay, I'll finish my thought and then I'll leave because of the lawnmower, because that's a bit cruel even for my low quality standards. If you look at the mammals, if you take any mammal, say you take a monkey is more closely related to a dog than it is to a fish, obviously. But in fact, it's more closely related to any mammal than to any non-mammal. And that's because they all share a common ancestor, which is like the proto-mammal. The synapsid? Diapsid? One of those two, back in the early Triassic. And so with the wasps, when we say that there's like this thing called the infraorder Aculeata, what that means is that any individual within the Aculeata is more closely related to other aculeates than to non-aculeates. The Aculeata are quite nice because oftentimes we can combine the taxonomic rank with a morphological feature, and usually the things that get codified into like official ranks are based on morphology. The aculeates have stingers. They're wasps with stings, so they include the bees, the big wasps, the hornets, the yellowjackets, and the ants. So great, and anything with a stinger is more closely related to other stinged things than non-stinged things, which is usually the case, but not always with evolutionary features. So, with that said, I'm going to leave at least until the mowing stops, because it's a bit unbearable for me, so it must be totally